Hello, welcome to this short where we are talking the trauma triad of death. So, behind me I have a crude depiction of that triad. And at the root of it we have hemorrhage. We have someone bleeding. What's inside of our blood? Hemoglobin. What's on the top of that hemoglobin or attached to it? Oxygen. So when I have bleeding or I have a hemorrhage and I'm losing hemoglobin, oxygen-rich hemoglobin, that means that the tissues in my body are no longer able to perfuse, and a few things are going to happen, and they feed into one another, and unfortunately they kind of build off one another. So first of all, blood operates at a certain temperature. It keeps us warm. So when we are losing that thing that keeps us warm, our patient is prone to hypothermia, meaning the dropping of the core body temperature. When that happens, you have what's called coagulopathy. So the body becomes less able to stop the bleeding due to that deviation from homeostasis. That drop in core temperature makes it more difficult for it to clot, which is going to create more bleeding, which is going to create more temperature loss. Kind of feeds on itself, as you see here. So we have hypothermia to coagulopathy. From there, you're going to have acidosis. So what that means is our body has to shift from aerobic metabolism to anaerobic metabolism because it does not have the oxygen that it needs to perfuse. And so it shifts into a different gear, but there's a consequence of that. Basically, lactic acid and acidotic components are byproducts of that anaerobic metabolism, making them more likely to be acidotic. And that is going to feed into hypothermia even more. So what that does is it disrupts the ability of cells to produce energy effectively and efficiently, meaning that your ability to try to overcorrect and steer back to homeostasis is going to be inhibited pretty severely. So basically, I have less energy to shiver. I have less energy to expend to try to warm myself up. It's not going to happen very effectively or efficiently. So again, acidotic, leading to more hypothermia, leading to more coagulopathy, leading to more blood loss, leading to more acidosis, and they kind of feed on one another. It's a really simple concept, but it's very important, and it's kind of the hallmark of treating trauma patients. You know, if you can stop that bleeding effectively, you can start to nip these things in the bud. That is a good segue into an initiative by the Northeast Indiana Providers Board of EMS. So what they are wanting to do is they are going to track placing these reflective caps on our trauma patients, and not just our trauma patients, but patients who are of risk of hypothermia, so cold weather exposure as well. But we want to try to mitigate heat loss as much as we can so that we can nip these things in the bud here. Again, heat loss leads into coagulopathy, which leads into acidosis, which kind of perpetuates the triangle. So if there's a simple, cheap, effective solution to deal with that, we're going to try it out and check it out. So you will start to see these caps in your kits, in your trauma pouches, and put them on your patients that you believe could benefit from them. So any individual with severe trauma or hypothermia, cold weather exposure, go ahead and try it out. And thank you for your time.